I'm going to play for you now a 10-minute video, just, I guess, to set the context, and thanks to Ishka, who've provided us the support and the contributors for the video, but I'll say no more about it. The video talks for itself. Thank you.
The real is the drugs. Having to sell your body for drugs. Negative reinforcement, children taken without consent. Classed as the underbelly in society. Being degraded as we have to pee in cups.
Wanting to return back to work. Didn't get educated. Unnoticed trauma. Loss of a child and an ex-partner. A broken home. Dysfunctional home. And sexual assault.
I was in 14 different homes and I was abused in every single one of them. When I was 14, I was sold as a sex slave. I still haven't got counselling for that. And then we wonder why I hate guards, I hate authority, I hate anything like that. It's because the system failed me each time. All we are is a statistic, right?
They're homeless. Yes, they will be discriminated against. They will be looked down on. They will be tagged and judged by shopkeepers, by businessmen, by publicans, by policemen, by judges, and it's the whole 9 yards, even when they go to the accident and emergency because something has happened on the street, because their life is totally removed from, I would say, 90% of our population. It's a very, very alienated existence. It works in an environment of deprivation where people have no money, they have no jobs. The area is a run-down, lower socioeconomic area. It has a reputation. Those people know that they're viewed and judged. And so the whole idea of being able to get out of their head while making a few quid and selling a few drugs as well. But that's one area.
I was born into addiction. I was born withdrawing from heroin, so all of a sudden I was born into the stigma.
When I was in primary school, they hadn't got ADHD. They had a special school. They had a special class that were bold. And we were always told we are bold. We were always put at the back of the class.
We lived in the inner city in town where the drug epidemic was like full throttle.
And they put it down to, look, she's just a mess up, that's it. Put him down the end of the class, give him the skill codes. Social workers come here, take it, bring you up to a room in the shops, and doctor come, give you Valium, sedate you. On about 2:30, they wake you up. And then they let you go home, and that'd be it then.
Yeah, I grew up in Finglas. We were classed as the lower class, and my father walked out when I was 6 years of age.
I know personally from my own experience, I've had both physical and mental health issues.
I'd like to help people who've been in my situation. Like, I never got the chance of treatment, I never got the chance of ban. I was always just into prison.
Then 10 years later, all this ADHD thing comes out, and I'm ADHD up to the hills.
I went to a counsellor in my school because they had seen that I had behavioural problems. So they gave me a counsellor. The counsellor was taken away from me because the funding wasn't there. I really engaged with this counsellor, and she got taken away from me. That was my first trauma.
The prison system, I was getting no drug counsellors, I was getting nothing. But yeah, I'm the person who's strung out with heroin, I'm the person who needs the help the most.
I became very accustomed to drugs, criminality from a very, very young age.
Because I know friends, because when I was a kid, they put me in the newspaper, youngest drug addict, and gave me address, the whole lot. No one was allowed to play me, nobody was allowed near me door. The government put me number in the paper when I went to court. They put up a big write-up about me as well. And around my life, basically.
So at the age of 5 then, we were taken into full-time care where we were put into a children's home.
Like, it's all through losses and griefs and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Physical, mental, emotional and sexual abuse for a period of 10 years from numerous members of staff.
I started using Zimmerfane to forget about the problems that I should have dealt with at the time.
We know there is often a correlation between substances and people's mental health.
And then we ended up getting a house out in Clondalk. And they were building estates, but they weren't putting infrastructure into the estates. The first thing that they put in for infrastructure was a pub. My granddad's an alcoholic and my dad's an alcoholic, and they do terrible things through alcohol. I didn't want to do the drink thing, so I went down to drugs.
Left care at 16, full-blown addiction.
He got me a treatment centre, and I got dragged out of my house and put into Clover Hill and never got the chance. That would have been, this was about 8-9 months ago now, that I could have been rehabilitated.
I ended up homeless because I was on drugs.
Yeah.
And my son was taken into care. So I ended up going out and shoplifting.
I had a criminal record from the age of 18, which, you know, kind of dictated the road I was going down. You know, it was kind of like as if I feel now that my road was marked out for me and I had no choice in the matter because all these decisions were being made for me and I was just going along with these decisions. And then I was also had that, you know, belief that this was all I deserved, that I deserved no more, that, you know, addiction this was my life, I had no choice in it. And that was reinforced on a daily basis through the guards and any interactions I would have with people out in the community. You know, obviously being a person that used drugs, you carry that stigma that comes with it.
It's horrible having a criminal record because it never leaves you. Every time we get stopped, it's straight away. They think, oh, you have drugs on you. They pull me trousers down. It's just a disgrace, like. Just throw them into cells and leave you there in your nip, freezing cold. No underwear on you. The grade and stuff they do to you. And a doctor should be there present when you're getting that done. And they make you do that without a doctor being there.
I'm fighting the system to try and get myself and my son at home. I'm literally coming down off drugs now at the moment, as in methadone.
So I'm still being stigmatised actually because I'm up in a hostel. I cause no trouble, but yeah, I can't get a house. I'm homeless since 2013.
We asked them about the house and they said, yeah, well, we're helping you, but it wasn't coming across because then they kept coming saying back to us, no, social workers aren't sending you up there. And their excuse was, yeah, we went drug free, so because we went drug free, they wouldn't send us up there with the kids. So we said, well, we'll give you all lines and we'll get drug free. Give us the chance. No, we can't give us that chance.
It is, it breaks my heart every day, so much as to say that when I wake up in the morning, I wake up depressed. There was a stage in the hospital where I didn't want to move out of bed.
Someone, for example, with a dual diagnosis is put in a very unique position because it's used against you to say this is why we can't treat you, this is why we can't do X, Y and Z, and actually the issue gets worse.
I know a lot of people connected to drugs, a lot, too many, that have died from drugs and that have even in prison committed suicide, and they weren't down long sentences.
Well, no, a lot of my friends died. There's only three of my friends left.
I don't want to be going to prison, back to prison again after so much changes that's had to come into my life and so much of a picture I can see serious changes in my life, and I want to put my head into the books. I want to do my 30 test.
Where I think I get stigmatised is on trains, on buses, walking down the street. They don't actually say it to you, but you can look at them and you can know what they're thinking, you know?
The system has completely failed me. TUSLA, Dublin City Council, skills, jobs, the prison service, as in judges.
I didn't get any college, I didn't get any skill. I still haven't got any skill or anything like that. I still can't read or write, you know, and like, that's the way it is because the system failed me, the government failed me.
If you go back to the very start with me, it was the system that failed me. It was the policies that were in place failed me. And then I was punished for that.
Remember that, like everyone else, people who use drugs or have experience of substances have the potential to evolve just like the rest of humanity, just like every other person. And I don't think that because of a particular substance being vilified by authorities that we should never give someone another chance, or we should walk by people on the street, or we shouldn't help. I think that we need to actually, if we're going to say we have a health-led approach, we need to actually commit to that instead of it constantly being met with being criminalised, stigmatised and actually denied a lot of rights.
We need to be fixed by mental, by physically, and that is so damaged. We've damaged parts of our body.